Hello and welcome. I'm with Hans Krohn, who is the Regional Head Russia, CIS Mongolia for Commerzbank. And Hans, you've just received an award for the Best Confirming Bank. So just give us a bit of reaction to that. And I think you've won it a few times before, so it shows something that's going on that's good at Commerzbank, yeah?
Well, I think the reason why we received that award again, and for the 15th consecutive time, as a matter of fact, is that we have a very large network of correspondent banks. And that encompasses not just the big banks in each country, but also smaller banks. And that is the main reason, I think, why we do receive that award.
Okay. Now, you cover Russia. I mean, what are the challenges these days for correspondent bankers covering Russia?
Well, when you talk about Russia, you unfortunately have to talk about sanctions.
Yeah.
And sanctions are hampering business, and they have led to an economic downturn some years ago, from which the country is now recovering. But sanctions mean that not all business can be done as in the past, and the banks which are sanctioned are the most important banks of the country. So of course there's a big impact, and on the other hand, it does not mean we don't do any business in Russia, but it became more complicated, and there is unfortunately less of it.
Okay, but of course complication goes hand in hand with trade finance these days, doesn't it? I mean, basically it becomes more complicated almost everywhere, yeah?
That's true, but there's also very nice developments I can talk about. If you look at Central Asia, or more specifically Uzbekistan,
right.
Since the new president took charge, we've seen quite an amazing change in the way the country conducts business, and we are participating in that, like many other banks, as a matter of fact. So that's, for the time being, probably in my area of responsibility, the biggest success.
So it's a mixed picture. There's some challenges, there's some good news. And what about Mongolia? It's a very interesting country, isn't it? You know, with a lot of big infrastructure projects and resource projects.
Yes, the main thing in Mongolia is the big copper mine, an investment of $6 billion US, and most activity gyrates around that project somehow, which is great news on one hand. On the other hand, of course, it is just one big project which is very closely related to the production of copper and gold, so commodities, and that is also a risk in a way. So, but definitely something we're looking at, and there's plenty of financing required.
Right, because you said it's a bit of a risk in a way. Obviously, banks are very careful these days, and they want to do green business where possible. Mm-hmm. Always difficult though in emerging markets, isn't it?
Not necessarily. We see quite a number of transactions coming out of emerging markets which perfectly fit into the picture of green business. So Commerzbank has a rather strict policy when it comes to business which would be not green, so to speak, so environmentally damaging, and that's not something I have to discuss very often. So most often, if I have business requests which need to be passed by our reputational risk guys, we sail through without problems, because the interest in green business exists on both sides.
Okay, Hans, thanks very much, and we hope that you get the EBRD's TFP award next year as well.
We're trying hard.
Thank you.